Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Five Rivers Metro Parks gearing up for their Adventure Summit this weekend, so you can head out to Wright State to hear from 40 inspirational speakers. Also, try your hand at kayaking, climbing, scuba diving, and more.
Ooh, I cannot wait for kayaking this summer.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to go. I mean, scuba diving would be interesting too.
Yeah, scuba diving would be awesome.
Yeah, I've never tried that.
I haven't either. I've gone snorkeling, but never scuba diving.
I remember doing wall climbing and be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. That's a lot.
We are a week away from Bat Tuesday, and this Saturday you can celebrate at Mother Stewart's in Springfield. The new Basics Brass Band is playing at 10, and you can also grab some special drinks.
Oh, I bet that's a ton of fun, like a Sound of New Orleans.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun,
You know that's my soul.
dun, 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 dun.
I love that. That sounds like a
Saints
good
go
time.
marching in.
Yep.
Rock and roll. Get a king cake.
Heck yes.
Find that little baby in there. It's a little weird.
I found the baby before.
Did you?
I'll do it again.
Oh, good luck charm over here. And the Dayton Donut Festival is back on tour. Now for $30, you can visit 10 donut shops in the Miami Valley. And with each coupon out of the book, you get 2 donuts. And this runs Friday to the 19th.
Why do you keep picking food stories for the feed?
Well, it's because I like to make us
torture
all
us
hungry.
all.
Yeah, but this looks fun.
This looks amazing.
Yeah, should be a good time.
Yeah.
Head on out, get some donuts. We got a lot of great shops here in the Miami Valley.
Please, and then bring us some.
Amen to that.
A new
Hermanio Joseph. Now, prosecutors charged the 35-year-old with vehicular homicide and involuntary manslaughter. Investigators say he caused a school bus crash in Clark County. The crash killed 11-year-old Aiden Clark on the first day of school. Prosecutors say Joseph was illegally driving with a license from Mexico. His attorney argued driving without a valid license is a misdemeanor, but a judge rejected the argument. Joseph's next court date has not been set.
The University of Dayton is investigating a possible overdose on campus. Campus safety found 4 people showing signs of an overdose. It happened at Campus South Friday night. 2 of the people involved were students. 3 of them were sent to the hospital and released. Crews treated 1 person at the scene. Right now, it's not clear what substance caused the alleged overdoses. If you have any information about the incident, call public safety right away. That number is on your screen right now.
We now know the name of the man killed in a car crash last week. Mark Pike died Friday on West Social Row Road in Centerville. Police say the driver of the pickup truck crossed over the median, crashed into Pike head-on. The 64-year-old died at the scene.
We're also learning the name of the man shot in his car last week. Police say Darnell Pat died outside of Napoleon's Bar in Jefferson Township. Investigators are still working to figure out what led to the shooting. They're also looking for a suspect. If you have any information on the shooting, call the Montgomery County Regional Dispatch Center right away. That number is on your screen right now. It's 937-225-4357.
Dayton Public Schools is asking for your help for students in need. The district is holding a winter clothing collection drive. They're asking for new and unworn scarves, hats, gloves, and coats of all sizes. Now you can drop off your donation at any of these locations. This drive is going on through next Friday, February 16th. Congratulations to Kristen Foltz for winning yesterday's big game trivia. Now, Kristen won a $100 prepaid debit card by playing the game. You could score big with big game trivia each day. Your football knowledge could win you a $100 prepaid debit card and a chance to be the $5,000 weekly winner. Just watch Your Day every morning for your chance to scan the QR code to enter.
Our time right now is 5:08. Don't forget, you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A bipartisan bill meant to enhance security at the border just released, but already its prospects look grim. I'm Christine Frizzell on Capitol Hill with what its supporters and detractors are saying.
Here's a live look from our Troy traffic cam. Just said Nick has a look at your forecast.
You're watching Your Day.
King Charles III is undergoing treatment for cancer. Buckingham Palace says doctors found it during surgery to correct an enlarged prostate. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says it was caught early. The king will take a step back from his public duties while he undergoes treatment. According to the BBC, Prince Harry is en route to the UK. He's expected to land in less than 2 hours. And President Biden releasing a statement on King Charles' illness, saying in part that navigating cancer takes courage, adding he and Jill are praying for a swift and full recovery.
The LA River is surging due to a powerful atmospheric river pummeling California. The storm dumped record rain across the state. This landslide ripped through a Beverly Hills neighborhood on Monday, completely washing out roads and burying vehicles in mud and debris. PG&E crews are hard at work. There's more than 320,000 customers without power. Workers say the winds did a ton of damage.
This was the first time in California's history that there was a warning issued for hurricane force winds. In Loma Prieta and Santa Clara County, we saw wind gusts of 98 miles per hour. That is evident here today on Blossom Hill Road and Lean Avenue. There was a large tree that came and snapped a power pole in half. The weight of that pole caused another pole to topple.
CAL FIRE has also been hard at work moving debris. Now, yesterday they were seen cutting trees down and clearing roadways.
And while California is getting hammered with rain, Nevada is seeing that in snow. As the atmospheric river makes its way inland, snow is slamming into parts of Nevada. Nevada Transportation Department road crews are working 12-hour shifts to plow highways. Parts of the Sierras have already recorded more than 2 feet of snow this week, with several more inches forecast today.
Just to give you some context about that 98-mile-per-hour gust, that is a very much so middle-of-the-road EF1 tornado. Tornadoes measured on wind gust, and the only reason I didn't use hurricane was because they measure on wind speed, so they measured on sustained winds. But either way, whether it's an EF1 tornado or a hurricane coming through, that is a really powerful storm. Now, we will see it over us later on this week. The difference is it is going to become separated from that main atmospheric river, and thus it's going to lose a lot of its energy. Plus, of course, it is going to go across the country, so it's also going to change, and it's going to end up being mainly a rain event for us as we get into Friday. So for Thursday, relatively quiet. Here you see the system probably getting here as soon as overnight Thursday into Friday morning. Friday, maybe a couple showers during the daytime, during the middle of the day. But by Saturday, this should start to exit out. Still think that there's the potential for something on Sunday, or excuse me, Monday into Tuesday. But some of these models are leaving it a lot more to the south. So it's something we'll have to watch ongoing. But at the present point, it does look like there is at least the threat of one system, perhaps two, on the horizon. Today, 48. Tomorrow should be a mild day overall, with temperatures also in the 50s. We'll be in the 50s through Friday, and then slowly cooling off next week. As for traffic this morning, we're not seeing any type of issues right now. Things seem to be moving smoothly on the interstates.
Many Republicans now speaking out after a small group of senators worked for months with the White House to come up with what some call the most sweeping proposal to our immigration system in modern history.
National correspondent Christine Frizzell lays out the debate taking shape on Capitol Hill.
The new normal of record numbers of migrants arriving to the southern border met with new legislation to try to curb the chaos. The $118 billion emergency security bill, which also includes aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, is meant to make the U.S. immigration system faster and stronger, according to one of its authors.
Changes the asylum laws, builds more wall, adds more detention beds, adds more deportation flights, changes this 10-year backlog that we're currently in now to weeks before people are actually deported. That's what the bill really does.
President Joe Biden and top Democrats also calling for swift passage of the bill.
This bill says America will step up to the plate and defend itself.
But the proposed sweeping changes to immigration policy may be already upended by politics. The celebrated bipartisan support in the Senate not reflected on the other side of the Capitol. Republican leaders say the bill is dead on arrival in the House, with complaints it gives too much money to non-governmental groups who care for migrants and increases the numbers of those allowed asylum and doesn't go far enough to crack down. But some accusing them of not wanting to help the president get the border under control, because it's seen as one of his greatest weaknesses in the 2024 election. Former President Trump among the most outspoken critics. Still, some Democrats say the bill is too Trump-like and makes it too difficult for many to qualify for asylum. This debate playing out here on Capitol Hill as officials in Texas have already taken over some parts of its border, with other border states struggling to keep up. Full Measure's Cheryl Atkinson heard about those struggles firsthand during a recent trip to Eagle Pass, Texas.
To process one just individual takes me like 45 minutes, one individual. You're talking about a group of 30 or something like that. Where are you going to put them? I don't have the space in my jail nor the time.
Time those pushing the new bill say is running out. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
Our time right now is 5:18, still to come.
Want to live longer? It might just be that you need to do something with your ears. I'm Liz Bonus. We're going to share new research on hearing. It is just ahead.
You're watching Your Day. Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. Tickets to Walt Disney World are getting expensive, starting at more than $100 a day. Now people are taking classes on how to properly plan a trip to the happiest place on Earth. It includes tips on how to beat the lines and make the most of the trip. I just feel like if you're going to stress that much over expenses, is it really the happiest place on Earth anymore?
Any parent that goes can tell you it is not. It is not the happiest place on
Yeah,
earth.
I think like it's a good age to go is like teens.
Yeah,
Before
like when
that,
you don't
it's
have to pay for anything, when you could just, milk off of mommy and daddy's, money, you'll be good. And the Grateful Dead are making history decades after breaking up. The Dead just broke the record for most top 40 albums to chart the Billboard 200. Dave's Picks Volume 49 was just remastered in the band's 59th album on the charts. The Grateful Dead disbanded in 1995. This record will shortly be broken by Taylor Swift. We know it's true. She breaks every other record.
Yeah.
I already snuck a Taylor
You're
Swift
not wrong.
reference in this morning.
You're not wrong.
Come on, let's be honest here. Just saying.
We now know when the next Jurassic World is coming out.
There's
The
another one?
4th film in the series will premiere on July 2nd, 2015. That's not right.
2025.
Okay. There's still no name for the movie.
You're just going to have Chris Pratt with raptors, and he's going to be like, no, but I have a mustache. And that's what it's
I'm
going to be.
excited.
I thought they wrapped it up nicely after the last one, but we know they got to make that
Of course
bag.
not.
Yeah. Sequels for days. We've got dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, that franchise could go on forever, honestly.
And it will never go extinct. There you go.
A group of Ohio Republican lawmakers are proposing another tax change.
It has a long way to go in the House and Senate, but if passed, it would be a huge revision. Melina Brown joins us live now with what you want to know. Melina.
Right now, you're getting ready to file your state and federal taxes, but a group of lawmakers is hoping to make things easier for you in a big way. The proposed bill would end state income tax by 2030. The bill gradually lowers state tax before entirely eliminating them in 6 years. It would apply to personal state income tax and some commercial activity tax that businesses pay. As we discussed earlier, Dayton Mayor Mims is unhappy with this idea, stating any loss of funding is negative. I spoke with one of the bill's authors, Senator Stephen Huffman, says it'll bring more people and revenue to the state.
I don't see it as a negative. I see that it drives people to those places. And if you look at the city of Dayton, people are leaving the city of Dayton for other places with less taxes because they're overtaxed there.
Montgomery County has a 2.25% local income tax. Most Ohio counties sit at 1%. Coming up in a bit, we'll discuss what lawmakers believe cutting state income tax will do for the state.
Good morning. We are waking up to temperatures right now around the freezing mark, perhaps a few degrees warmer than yesterday. That owing to some clouds that have moved over, but we do expect these clouds to begin to not only move out, but also fade out once we get past daylight. So effectively this morning, it'll start anywhere between mostly cloudy and partly cloudy, and eventually it will become a little bit more sunny, perhaps by, let's say, later on this morning. I know this particular model is saying mostly cloudy, but you get an idea. I think it's going to be that thin overcast. So from time to time, you may have a little bit thicker. It'll thin out on the most part as we get later and later today. Either way, it should be about as mild as it was yesterday with highs in the upper 40s. Not banner warm for this time of year, but still all in all pretty mild. As you head out the door this morning, well, traffic has been light so far, and also so is the weather, so no issues with either of those to report as of right now.
Springfield police are asking for your help to find this man. 28-year-old Justin Smith was last seen leaving for work and hasn't been seen since. He was last seen in the 400 block of Linden Avenue last Monday. He's a white man, about 5'9" and 120 pounds. Smith has brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a black jacket, blue jeans, and black shoes. If you see him, call Springfield police at the number on your screen.
The Butler County Sheriff's Office is now offering a $250 reward to help identify this man. Investigators say he walked into an apartment complex in Hamilton last month, lured a cat into a trash bag, and slammed it to the ground. what is wrong with this person? Take a closer look. The sheriff's office released these new pictures showing the man returning to Indian Springs Apartments in Hamilton last week. People living in that complex say he's not a resident there. The new pictures show more of his face. If you have any information about who this man is, contact Deputy Dog Warden Burkett. Now the number and email are on your screen right now.
The former New York City firefighter who stood with President George W. Bush amid the rubble of the 9/11 terror attacks has died. Bob Beckwith was 91. His cause of death hasn't yet been released. Last year, Beckwith revealed he had malignant skin cancer and other health problems. Beckwith was already retired when 9/11 happened, but like many retired firefighters, he rushed to the scene in Lower Manhattan to help.
A group is suing the Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost to try to get a proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot. Yost rejected the petition twice, stopping volunteers from gathering petitions. He says calling it the Ohio Voters' Bill of Rights petition is highly misleading. Now here's what the proposed amendment would do. It'll let you register to vote the same time you get your driver's license. You can also bring other forms of IDs to polling places. You'll be able to vote early the Monday before the election, and counties will be able to have more than one absentee drop box. It would also allow same-day voting. Now, in a post on X, Yost says the name is his only contention with the bill, adding he expects the state Supreme Court to give a clear up or down opinion on the issue.
In just 2 days, the Supreme Court will hear arguments over the 14th Amendment. In a historical case, the court could overturn former President Donald Trump's chances for re-election. Part of the measure bans anyone who engaged in insurrection or rebellion from holding office. This case will decide whether Trump can remain on the ballot in Colorado. The state Supreme Court ruled he violated the amendment by inciting the riot at the nation's capital.
Dayton Metro Library is celebrating Cupid's Big Day. Several branches will be hosting Valentine's Day programs for all ages. Now today, the Burkhart branch is doing Valentine's R Us. Families can come and make M&M cookies from scratch and make special crafts for their loved ones. The address is on your screen right now. For more information about Valentine's Day programs, you can visit DaytonMetroLibrary.org. That website is also on your screen.
University of Dayton's Deron Holmes II is on a roll. He's been named the Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Player of the Week. This is the fourth time in 6 weeks. Holmes averaged better than 29 points a game in the Flyers' 2 home wins over George Washington and St. Bonaventure. He continues to lead the Atlantic 10 in scoring at 20 points per game for the season. Dayton goes on the road for 2 games this week at St. Joseph's Tuesday and at VCU on Friday.
Dayton 24/7 now is once again teaming up with the Humane Society of Greater Dayton to find forever homes for animals across the Miami Valley. Join us this Thursday, February 8th for the 4th annual Epic Pet Give-a-thon. You can show your support and donate now by scanning the QR code on your screen or by texting EPIC24 to 76278.
Community leaders across the Miami Valley are joining together to combat hunger in the area. The Super Bowl of Caring is helping to eliminate child hunger in Dayton. Our partners will be accepting food and monetary donations throughout the area. Those donations will then be distributed to 3 local organizations, the Food Bank for the Love of Children or Flock and the House of Bread. You can help by taking out your phone and scanning this QR code to make a donation. You have until February 12th.
Our time right now is 5:40. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
You're watching Your Day.
Time to step outside where this morning we're waking up to temperatures right for now in the 30s. Note Chicago, Minneapolis, about the ballpark. Charlotte, not that much warmer. In New York City, actually cooler. We do have an area of a low off the coast of Florida. That's not going to affect us, but just to give us a kind of idea of why we're continuing to stay warm, we are in between systems. As for this morning, temperatures in the low 30s, we will continue to see these get all the way into the 40s, but I think it's going to be upper 40s with, generally speaking, mostly sunny weather for the second half of the day. We're pointing out that, yeah, there's still going to be the chill in the air during the morning, but it won't be that brutal for this time of year. Highs in the upper 40s. That's about 10 degrees above average, but should be even warmer for tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all going to be actually in the 50s. And it's worth pointing out that this time of year, 60 degrees, that's about 20 degrees above average. So we are talking about a significant warm up across the area.
According to the most recent data from the Identity Theft Resource Center, the number of data breaches continues to skyrocket. Cassie Arsenault shows some steps we could take to protect ourselves from data breaches.
Most of us have received a notification at some point that our personal information has been compromised because of a company's data breach. And while it is the company's responsibility to protect any personal information we give them, data breaches do happen. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of control over this. But it is a good reminder that we need to be protecting our personal information and taking precautions.
The things that we can do are practice good internet hygiene and data sharing hygiene. So you need to use, it's a pain, but you need to use multi-factor authentication. You need to change your passwords frequently. You need to use a strong password. You need to update your software so that you have all the latest patches.
The moment you're notified that your personal information has been compromised, you're going to want to check your credit right away. You can go to creditreport.com and check all 3 credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. The biggest worry is that someone has stolen your identity or your social security number and is taking out loans or credit cards in your name. You're going to want to put a fraud alert or security freeze on your account. And lastly, if your social security number or your identity has been stolen, you have to take very specific steps and you have to do them right away. They're all spelled out for you at identitytheft.gov. Fighting fraud, I'm Cassie Arsenault.
Our time right now is 5:46. Today in Stretching Your Dollar, Elise Coulter explains all the ways you can save the day after Valentine's Day.
You're watching Your Day.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to our weather patio, where this morning could be a whole lot worse. It's still chilly outside, but not necessarily that brutally cold. Obviously, I'm only out here for maybe a minute, absolutely 2 at the most. But right for now, this coat is doing a good enough job. Although I can tell you this much, based on the way it feels, it probably wouldn't last much more than 2 minutes. Now, as for this morning, not a lot of wind, but enough wind that we are waking up to somewhat of a wind chill factor. It's not overly impressive, but it's about 7-8 degrees off of where the actual temperature is. Just keep in mind this morning that if you're going to be waiting much more than 2 minutes, think 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes for, let's say, the bus to come around the corner, or perhaps maybe you walk to work. Yeah, you're going to need a heavier coat and probably some gloves and a hat as well. As for today, it is starting out a little bit cloudy. We do expect it to clear out during the second half of the morning.
Americans are expected to spend more than $25 billion on Valentine's Day gifts, but for us candy lovers, the real holiday is the day after.
Yeah, discount candy. As Elise Coulter explains, it's the day to save.
February 15th is really known as Discount Chocolate Day. This, of course, is when stores drastically drop prices on the remaining stock of holiday candy. So the discounts range from 15 to 50% off. So here's a few you can expect to find. One of the best kept secrets for V-Day discounts: drug stores. Think CVS and Walgreens. They typically have a larger stock of candy left over than the big chain stores, and you'll find steeper discounts there too. For example, Walgreens typically has 50 to 60% off things like candy, toys, ceramics, stuffed animals, and more. Big box stores vary wildly, of course, but typically at Walmart you'll find flowers and candy discounted at 50% off. Then Target seems to be typically around 15% off the candy and goodies. Now at Kroger, you might not only find candy and flowers at a discount, but cakes, cupcakes, chocolate-covered strawberries, all the goodies are going to be discounted as well. And don't forget, February 15th is just the first of the 4 discount chocolate days, as we like to call them. You also have the day after Easter, Halloween, and Christmas. Guys, back to you.
And we want to know how you're stretching your dollars, so grab your phone and scan the QR code.
Chime in a picture or video and share your money-saving tips. You may see them featured right here on Your Day.
Our time right now is 5:51. Did you hear about the ketchup thief?
Huh?
He was caught red-handed. Heinz releasing an emotional support ketchup bottle ahead of Cupid's big day. We have more after the break.
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. Here's the view right now over Beaver Creek, where we're waking up to a relatively quiet morning, just a lot more cloudy than it has been. Because of that, not as much temperature spread. Yesterday, we actually had a few low 20s pop up on the board. We actually were in the upper 20s for the most part, if memory serves, although it was probably about 23 hours ago that we all got into the upper 20s. There were still a few low 30s even at this hour. For today, it's upper 40s. So despite the fact that we are going to see more clouds early on, I think if anything, those clouds will fade and thus we'll get upper 40s. It's not going to be a bad day by any stretch of the imagination. It is going to be a generally sunny day. But again, we are talking about things basically being quiet, not just today, not just tomorrow, but through Friday itself. Friday, a little bit different story. So what happens? Well, we get a system that is going to usher in a warmer air mass over the top of us. And I do think it's going to be relatively a quiet day for, let's say, any type of storms, but still rain. That looks like a given. Saturday, we'll see that move out early on in the morning. Probably much of the daytime will be spent under clouds, but it could be a pocket or two of sunshine. We are tracking the next system somewhere around Monday into Tuesday. There could be a system in our area. I'm thinking somewhere in the Ohio region as a whole. Not quite sure exactly where it's going to end up because, frankly, the models have been oscillating between here and Tennessee with it. So something we're tracking. Speaking of tracking, we're tracking traffic right now. That is fairly quiet as you head out the door this morning, although it does look like, an ambulance heading down, I believe that's 3rd or 2nd Street.
A Pennsylvania bakery's cakes are on fire, literally. KK's Cakes in Philadelphia is jumping on the latest confectionery craze with burn cakes. The owner is putting a Super Bowl twist to it with different Kansas City Chiefs themes. One cake featuring a shirtless Jason Kelce went viral on social media. The cakes have 2 types of sugar paper on top. One burns faster and cleaner, exposing an image underneath. The bakery is taking Super Bowl orders through tomorrow.
And the heck with fries and a shake. Would you like a life-changing prize with that burger? Burger King announcing its $1 Million Whopper contest. Customers can submit their own ingredients for the classic sandwich. The winning entry will get $1 million prize. The deadline for the contest is March 17th.
If you're struggling this Valentine's Day, Heinz is offering a solution. The company coming out with an emotional support ketchup bottle. Interesting. The 14-ounce glass bottle comes with a silicone cap, an adjustable nylon strap, and custom stickers. Some might think of it as a response to the Stanley Cup craze. The emotional support ketchup bottle is available for a limited time on Amazon.
Not gonna lie, I have a 2-year-old who would probably love this.
This is hilarious.
He eats enough ketchup to make up for the entire family.
Now, could I tell you something? And maybe this is my sick and twisted mind, but the first thought if I had emotionally support ketchup, I was like, is that because you could just beat it to get the last bit of ketchup out?
Oh my God, you need therapy.
Yeah, I mean, like, it
Alex's
takes my anger
face
out.
tells it
Like,
all.
That's what the gym is for.
yeah, but I mean, just, you know.
Maybe you need to start going to boxing classes.
Maybe you just need a hug. We got a lot more coming up on your day at 6 a.m.
State income tax could be headed out of Ohio. We have details coming up.
You're watching Your Day. Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. 5 Rivers Metro Parks gearing up for the Adventure Summit this weekend. Head out to Wright State. They hear from 40 inspirational speakers. You can also try kayaking, climbing, scuba diving, and more.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, should be interesting and, you know, kind of gears you up for the spring season.
Yeah,
some adventure.
I definitely would love to learn to scuba dive.
I like kayaking. That's fun.
I like kayaking too, with some drinky poos.
Yeah, the cooler with beer.
Yep.
Yeah, or White Claw for you.
Yeah. I
Clause
wish I could just take a glass of wine out with me.
Clause the law. Be responsible.
Yes, we are a week away from Fat Tuesday, and this Saturday you can celebrate at Mother Stewart's in Springfield. The new Basics Brass Band is playing at 10, and you can also grab some special drinks.
I hope there's a food truck out there with some beignets. Have you ever had beignets?
I feel like I have.
My brother lived in Louisiana, so we went to New Orleans, and oh my gosh, they're insane.
So fun fact about me, I literally dream of going to New Orleans.
It's great.
I want to go so bad. I love jazz music. I just want to go bar hop to different jazz bars and listen to music all night. Well, as late as I can stay up.
It's great. I've been there since I was a teen. It's a fun time. And the Dayton Donut Festival's on tour is back for $30. You can visit 10 different donut shops. You get 2 donuts with each coupon this Friday through the 19th.
That's
so
nice.
yeah, it should be a good old time. Get some donuts. I mean, like all the classics are involved here in the Miami Valley. So
yeah, you can go and pick up your different donuts from each shop and take them home, and you have donuts for the whole weekend
yeah.
for you and the fam.
God, I'm hungry now. Why do we?
I'm always hungry.
I'm always hungry.
Ugh. A new bill making its way through the legislature in Columbus could change how much you bring home on payday.
And lawmakers are hopeful it could bring a new frontier to Ohio. Melina Brown joins us now with details. Melina?
The proposed bill would slowly cut state income tax before completely getting rid of it in 2030. The lawmakers who introduced the bill tell me it's worked in many other states and can work here in the Buckeye State. Those states include Texas, Florida, Nevada, and Tennessee. The volunteer state axed its income tax 3 years ago. Those states now rely on sales tax, tourism, casinos, and other boosts. The state sales tax brings in about $13 billion each year for Ohio, but right now there aren't any plans to introduce new taxes.
I have no plans to raise any taxes any higher than they are on other things.
State Senator Steve Huffman tells me by lowering taxes, people will want to come to Ohio, therefore bringing money into the state. Coming up next, you'll hear from Dayton Mayor Mims on what he believes lawmakers need to consider before approving this bill.
Developing overnight, country music star Toby Keith is dead. His family posted this on Keith's X account. It says he passed away on February 5th, surrounded by family. Keith announced he had stomach cancer in 2022. Toby Keith was 62 years old.
Good morning. We are waking up to temperatures by and large warmer than yesterday by a handful of degrees. It is not that it's particularly that warm. What we have had is just a very thin cloud deck, but that cloud deck has done enough to keep temperatures from dropping into the 20s. It isn't like us to be this warm unusually, so it's nothing that I would say is noteworthy about this morning, just a handful of degrees warmer. What we will continue to see is sunshine poking through the clouds, probably partly to mostly cloudy during the morning hours, but by the time we get towards 11, it may be more of that thin overcast that breaks up a lot easier. And so probably at the second half of the day, at the bare minimum, will be a lot more sunny. Again, today, a day where we'll start out cloudy, a little bit warmer than yesterday, maybe end a degree warmer. That's about it, with the sunshine returning for the afternoon and evening. Now on the roads this morning, it has been a quiet morning commute as of right now. Really not seeing traffic pick up yet, as you'd imagine here at 6 a.m. But within the next hour or two, you know the routine, it's going to start picking up.
Another false active shooter alarm set off yesterday for a district that has had this happen before. The alarm was set off accidentally at Hook Elementary in Troy.
Jenny Borg was there and tells us what she learned after talking to the superintendent.
I learned that every time one of these alarms has been set off, it has been triggered by a staff member accidentally. After September's false alarms, the district changed how the alert could be triggered, making it more difficult to set off by mistake. Superintendent Chris Piper tells me they thought they had gotten it right, but yesterday proved otherwise. He says the district will be looking for other options.
I don't see us moving forward with this particular system. We can't afford to have false alarms. The delicate balance that you're trying to strike is having a system that is easy enough to use if you need to use one, and it's very effective when it's used, but also making it difficult to trigger accidentally.
Piper says the police response was quick. The first officer arrived in about 10 seconds. He adds that both staff and police officers take these alarms very seriously and act accordingly. Back to you.
The man accused of a deadly school bus crash in August is still in jail this morning. A judge just denied a motion to dismiss charges against Hermanio Joseph. Prosecutors charged the 35-year-old with vehicular homicide and involuntary manslaughter. Investigators say he caused a school bus crash in Clark County. The crash killed 11-year-old Aiden Clark on the first day of school. According to prosecutors, Joseph was illegally driving with a license from Mexico. His attorney argued driving without a valid license is a misdemeanor, but a judge rejected that argument. Joseph's next court date has not been set.
The University of Dayton is investigating a possible overdose on campus. Campus safety found 4 people showing signs of an overdose. It happened at Campus South Friday night. 2 of the people involved were students. 3 of them were sent to the hospital and released. Crews treated 1 person at the overdoses. If you have any information about the incident, call public safety right away. The number is on your screen right now.
We now know the name of the man killed in a car crash last week. Mark Pike died Friday on West Social Row Road in Centerville. Police say the driver of the pickup truck crossed over the median, crashed into Pike head-on. The 64-year-old died at the scene.
We're also learning the name of the man shot in his car last week. Police say Darnell Pate died outside of Napoleon's Bar in Jefferson Township. Investigators are still working to figure out what led to the shooting. They're also looking for a suspect. If you have any information on the shooting, call the Montgomery County Regional Dispatch Center right away. That number is on your screen right now. It's 937-225-4357.
Dayton Public Schools is asking for your help for students in need. The district's holding a winter clothing collection drive, and they're asking for new and unworn scarves, hats, gloves, and coats of all sizes. You could drop off your donation at any of these locations on your screen right now through next Friday, February 16th. Congratulations to Christian Foltz for winning yesterday's big game trivia. Christian won a $100 prepaid debit card by playing the game. You could score with big game trivia. Each day, your football knowledge could win you a $100 prepaid debit card and a chance to be a $5,000 weekly winner. Just watch your day each morning and look for the QR code to enter.
Our time right now is 6:08. Don't forget, you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A potential deal to release more hostages held by Hamas. I'm Atrell Nashar with what we know about the terms of the deal and what it could mean for the war in Gaza.
You're watching Your Day.
Well, we mentioned the fact the temperatures are warmer right now by a handful of degrees, and I think that may actually translate into later today. So this is a classic case where we get both ends of the cloud spectrum. So in the morning, cloudy skies will lead to a somewhat warmer start. But if you do get the sun to poke through the clouds during the afternoon, which I think is a good possibility, what you end up is a warmer start and then a warmer day overall. We've seen the exact opposite, and that typically happens in winter, where the clouds clear out, it gets cold in the morning, the clouds build in during the day, and it stays cold all day. Today, the exact opposite. So starting out 30s, getting into about 40 degrees, let's say about noontime probably. From there, mid 40s, and we probably top out somewhere in the upper 40s. For context, yesterday's high was 46 degrees, so it wasn't impressively warm, but it was warmer than average, and that's always noteworthy for this time of year. On the roads this morning, well, it's been relatively quiet. 35 for 675, 70, 75, all in good order. Haven't seen any tie-ups, concerns, or realistically any big traffic at all.
Israel now waiting for a response from Hamas about a potential agreement for a pause in fighting and releases some remaining hostages. National correspondent Atra El-Nashar has the latest now from Washington.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken back in the Middle East. Landing in Riyadh Monday, top of mind as he meets with Saudi leaders, a pending deal between Israel and Hamas that could pause fighting and release some of the roughly 100 remaining hostages, as many as 6 Americans among them.
We cannot, with any clear sense, say the exact number of hostages, but we know that there are many.
As of now, the most viable means to that end appears to be what's being called the Paris proposal.
Hamas understand that basically the only meaningful card that they have right now, the only real leverage that they have, are the hostages.
Ari Perliger, an expert on extremist groups, says Hamas wants these talks, brokered with help from Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S., to mark the final stage of the war. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he insists on absolute victory. Families of the hostages continue to push Israeli officials to prioritize bringing home their loved ones over the military offensive in Gaza to eliminate Hamas, which has left more than 27,000 dead, according to the Gaza Health Ministry under the Hamas-run government.
It is clear that the threat to their lives is increasing the more time they stay there, and there's plenty of hostages that already were killed. My belief is that they are still being held underground. The pictures that were released shows that the hostages are probably suffering from malnutrition.
White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says the ball, so to speak, is in Hamas's court to respond to the latest hostage release framework. Meanwhile, complicating matters are ongoing clashes in the region between U.S. forces and the Houthis, which, like Hamas, are backed by Iran. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
Our time right now is 6:14. The Greene Town Center in Beaver Creek is preparing to welcome 2 new tenants this year. Just ahead, what businesses are making their move to Beaver Creek?
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. It is a cloudy start to your AM, but at least it's dry and has been dry for the last couple of days, even going back, now about 10 days at that. Hard to keep track of time here sometimes when you're enjoying the warmer temperatures, but we will see the warmer temperatures eventually give way to some wet weather. I think for the most part, you could say it starts overnight Thursday into Friday. It does not look like at the present point it will get here for daytime Thursday. So Thursday may be the last day where we are warm and dry. Friday, it's going to be warm, but it's actually going to be, again, periods of showers. And I think it's going to be a true showers. It's not going to be storms or anything of that nature. We're not quite that warm. What we will continue to see is, again, periods of showers through potentially even Saturday midday, but then this should start to move out. For Sunday, it's quiet. Monday to Tuesday, there is this system, this particular model, a lot more aggressive with the amount of wet weather in our area, but others have us staying almost completely dry. So for right now, we are keeping it dry, but we are monitoring this system. And as we get a better handle on where exactly it goes, well, we'll be able to tell you. But as of right now, it's still in that category of, well, maybe it'll come together or maybe it won't. For today, upper 40s. Tomorrow, it'll be in the 50s. This after we start a little bit cooler. Temperatures will continue to stay in the 50s. In fact, we could hit nearly 60 degrees on Friday. As for traffic this morning, so far, so quiet. Do have a pulled over semi there on 70 and 75, but that's been about it. We did have a car pulled over on 75, disabled, but that has since been moved over about an hour ago.
Top in this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines. The Greene Town Center in Beaver Creek is preparing to welcome 2 new tenants this year. Goat Country LLC and Yuma Boba Tea are coming to the shopping center. Yuma Boba Tea will be offering its first location, selling an assortment of boba teas. Goat Country is expanding its temporary location. The company offers goat yoga, goat cuddles, photo shoots, paint and sips, and more. Sounds like fun. To read more about this story and others like it at Dayton247now.com. Click on the news tab and select Dayton Business Journal.
Our time right now is 6:19. What's frozen yogurt's favorite dance move? The swirl. It's National Frozen Yogurt Day. We've got all the ways you can celebrate.
You're watching Your Day.
It is time for Pet of the Day here on your day, where, of course, we celebrate pets. And I'm going to start trying to make Tuesday a 2-for-1 day, so 2-for-1 Tuesday, if you will. That because, well, we get enough photos with 2 pets, or perhaps people sending in both their pets. So, again, if you have 2 of your furry friends, or maybe you have lizards or fish. I don't think we've ever had fish on here, come to think of it. Feel free to send them in. Of course, we will always take whatever animals you do have. Lucy and Zoe were sent in by Bertina, and a big thank you to her for sending them in, and a big thank you to whoever got this weather the way it is. It's been sunny and mild, at least by this time of your standards. No upper 40s is in shorts and t-shirt weather, but it is certainly a lot nicer to be outside and than when it was minus teens for wind chills, or when it was so sopping wet last week. So at least at this point, we are expecting another nice couple of days, realistically up until Thursday, and then Thursday night into Friday, well, it's going to start to rain. As for this morning, no rain, no snow, and not a lot of traffic. Things have been moving pretty smoothly on the interstates. Just starting to see traffic pick up, though, as we've gotten into the last 15 minutes or so.
The weekend is still a good ways away, but if you're in need of a pick-me-up, you should treat yourself to the holidays dessert. It's National Froyo Day. This icy treat started out as a fad, but has become a freezer section staple over the years. Dairy company H.B. Hood came up with the first frozen yogurt in 1970 in the U.S. It was originally known as Frogurt, though its health benefits vary compared to ice cream. Froyo does tend to be lower in fat and calories.
I mean, I like Froyo. I don't know. It's just I think they do fruit flavors really well. I love the mix-ins and stuff, and it's always fun for kids.
I used to be obsessed with orange leaf, but I would always get the birthday cake flavor.
I do like Froyo. I am ice cream if I'm going to have it, but Froyo is not bad. Or gelati is probably my favorite in terms of like which ice cream you're going with. Yeah, like that is just fantastic.
Yeah, that's such a Philly thing, isn't it? Because it's Italian ice and custard mixed.
Well, no. Well, gelati is the it's a heavier ice cream. It's like that. It's like a little bit more rich. I think you're thinking of gelato, like at Rita's Italian Ices. That's my summer treat. I will go to Rita's ice cream over here in Miamisburg at least once or twice a summer to get that.
They call it water ice.
No, they don't. They call it Italian Ices.
Well, I'm talking about Philadelphia.
Yeah, they're weird.
Our time right now is 6:25, still to come.
Some Ohio lawmakers want to cut state income tax. We have details coming up next.
A UD player being honored as Player of the Week for the A10 just said why Deron Holmes is being honored for a 4th time in 6 weeks.
But first, here's Julie Moran with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
Now this is a great gift. This is the Snuggleback. It's something unique people won't already have, especially for people who have everything. And I can't think of a better solution for those colder months. I'm always freezing, so this is perfect for me. Now, I have a daughter in college, and she's writing papers up late at night and sitting in a chair like this for hours, and this will make her feel so cozy while she's working. It also has this super soft, look at this, Sherpa lining, and it just feels so luxurious. And it's great for the office because so many offices are air-conditioned, and if you do bring it in for work, it folds up so nicely like this, so you can walk in looking very professional instead of dragging in a blanket. And I love using mine when I'm paying bills or sending emails late at night. It's also machine washable, and it's better than using a regular blanket because those get caught in the wheels of the chair, or they slip off, or they drag off, and that's not fun. Look how easily it straps onto the back of this chair. So it's really secure. And right now we're offering 25% off on the Snuggleback. So I want you to head to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer. Those unique people in your life, they don't have this. This is a great gift.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. Tickets to Walt Disney World are getting expensive, starting at more than $100 a day. Now people are taking classes on how to properly plan a trip to the happiest place on earth. It includes tips on how to beat the lines and make the most of the trip.
You're going to ride 3 rides.
It's ridiculous.
Your kids are going to be cranky.
Your feet are going to kill you.
And you're going to regret the entire decision.
Yeah, I just feel like there are better vacations you can go on with little ones.
Beach.
Yeah.
Those kids
just let them run around.
Kids are on the beach. They just like lay on the sand and do sand angels, whatever. I mean, let them live. The Grateful Dead making history decades after breaking up. The Dead just broke the record for most top 40 albums to chart the Billboard 200. Dave's Picks Volume 49 was just remastered as the band's 59th album on the charts. The Grateful Dead disbanded in 1995. Are they just like same songs over and over again? That's what jam bands are. My brother would kill me for saying that. That's okay.
I'm gonna tell on you.
Yeah, they're just like, man, let's listen to our music, bro. It's good stuff.
We now know when the next Jurassic World is coming out. The 4th film in the series will premiere on July 2nd, 2025. I don't know why I keep saying that. There's still no name for the movie.
Here's the movie.
Your impressions, I just can't do
That
them.
was a little much today.
That was a little much.
This could be good.
I'm excited.
I do wonder if Chris Pratt's going to be back.
Yeah.
They'll probably just bring Jeff Goldblum back for, good measure.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they could introduce all new people to keep it going.
You'd think.
No, they'll probably end it on this one. I think Chris Pratt will be in it.
Okay, sure.
He's too popular. Some Ohio lawmakers want to make big changes in taxes here in the Buckeye State.
But not all local leaders are pleased with the proposal. Melena Brown joins us now with more. Melena.
Some Republican lawmakers in the state are hoping to drive new business and people to the state by cutting and then eliminating state income tax. The move comes months after a change to Ohio's tall tax laws. Ohio now has 2 income tax brackets. There used to be 3, but some state lawmakers want none at all. They're proposing a bill to completely get rid of state income tax by 2030, but that revenue brings in funding for public schools and state-funded medical care. The proposal is still making its way through the legislature. One local leader tells me there's still a lot to consider before the changes become law.
If there is something that they think is better because it may be functioning better and providing services in other states, I think it would be good for us to know that before we make a cut.
Mayor Jeffrey Mims also tells me new businesses are already coming to the area with the current tax rate, so cutting taxes is unnecessary. To read more about the proposed tax plan, head to our website, Dayton247now.com.
All right, time to take a look at temperatures where it's in the low 30s this morning across the board, with the exception of Bell Fountain that's in the upper 20s. We are warmer by a few degrees, not especially warm for this time of year, but warmer than average due to the fact that A, it's a warmer air mass, and B, we do have a very thin cloud deck ongoing. So that is something to keep in mind this morning, that we will continue to see basically, we are looking at a cloudy sky for this morning, and then you do look out, let's see, today going to be in the 30s. Now, I'm sorry that I sound a little bit off, but just got word that I-75 south is shut down. Trying to find a camera in around that area. So let's go to traffic if we can, and I'll do this live as we speak here. So that was south of Boston Boulevard. Doesn't look like it is right now. Let's see the Lyons Road area. Yep, there you see it, Lyons Road camera. So I-75 shut down at this hour in the southbound direction. So if you can seek an alternate route, whether it's taking 675 to Yankee, getting around Austin, or perhaps maybe taking a back road through Miamisburg itself. But again, I-75 south shut down right now at Lyons Road.
Springfield police are asking for your help to find this man, 28-year-old Justin Smith, who was last seen leaving for work and hasn't been seen since. He was last seen in the 400 block of Linden Avenue last Monday. He's a white man about 5'9" and 120 pounds. Smith has brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a black jacket, blue jeans, and black shoes. If you see him, call Springfield police at the number on your screen.
The Butler County Sheriff's Office now offering a $250 to identify this man right here. Investigators say he walked into an apartment complex in Hamilton last month, lured a cat into a trash bag, and slammed it to the ground. Come on. Take a closer look at this. The Sheriff's Office releasing these new pictures showing the man returning to Indian Springs Apartments in Hamilton last week. People living in that complex say he's not a resident there. The new pictures show more of his face. If you have any information about who this man is, contact Deputy Dog Warden Burkett. The number's on your screen right now.
The former New York City firefighter who stood with President George W. Bush amid the rubble of the 9/11 terror attacks has died. Bob Beckwith was 91. His cause of death hasn't yet been released. Last year, Beckwith revealed he had malignant skin cancer and other health problems. Beckwith was already retired when 9/11 happened, but like many retired firefighters, he rushed to the scene in Lower Manhattan to help.
A group is suing Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost to try to get a proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot. Yost rejected the petition twice, stopping volunteers from gathering petitions. He says calling it the Ohio Voters' Bill of Rights petition is highly misleading. Here's what the proposed amendment would do. It'll let you register to vote the same day you get your driver's license. You can also bring other forms of IDs to polling places. You'd be able to vote early the Monday before Election Day. Counties will be able to have more than one absentee drop box. It would also allow same-day voting. In a post on X, Yost says the name is his only contention with the bill, adding he expects the state Supreme Court to give a clear up or down opinion on the issue.
In just 2 days, the Supreme Court will hear arguments over the 14th Amendment. In a historical case, the court could overturn former President Donald Trump's chances for re-election. Part of the measure bans anyone who engaged in insurrection or rebellion from holding office. This case will decide whether Trump can remain on the ballot in Colorado. The state Supreme Court ruled he violated the amendment by inciting the riot at the nation's capital.
Dayton Metro Library celebrating Cupid's Big Day. Several branches will be hosting Valentine's Day programs for all ages. Today, the Burkhardt branch is doing Valentine's Are Us. Families can come and make M&M cookies from scratch and make special crafts for their loved ones. That address is on your screen right now. For more information about Valentine's Day programs, you can visit DaytonMetroLibrary.org. That website is also on your screen.
University of Dayton's Deron Holmes II is on a roll. He's been named the Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Player of the Week. This is the fourth time in 6 weeks. Holmes averaged better than 29 points a game in the Flyers' 2 home wins over George Washington and St. Bonaventure. He continues to lead the Atlantic 10 in scoring at 20 points per game for the season. Dayton goes on the road for 2 games this week at St. Joseph's Tuesday and at VCU on Friday.
Dayton 24/7 Now is once again teaming up with the Humane Society of Greater Dayton wow, Nathan, to find forever homes for animals across the Miami Valley. Join us this Thursday, February 8th for the 4th annual Epic Pet Give-a-thon. You can show support by donating now by scanning the QR code on your screen or by texting EPIC24 to 76278.
Community leaders across the Miami Valley are joining together to combat hunger in the area. The Super Bowl of Caring is helping to eliminate child hunger in Dayton. Our partners will be accepting food and monetary donations throughout the area. Those donations will then be distributed to 3 local organizations, the Food Bank for the Love of Children or Flock and the House of Bread. You can help by taking out your phone and scanning this QR code to make a donation. You have until February 12th.
Our time right now is 6:39. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Today in Stretching Your Dollar, Elise Coulter explains all the ways you could save the day after Valentine's Day.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A famous groundhog predicted an early spring last week, but Mother Nature pressed pause in Reno. The area saw several inches of snow during the weekend, and more is expected in the next day or so. Some pets seem to love it, along with this sunbathing snowman at sunrise. And here's another view of daybreak above the clouds over North Carolina.
Listen to Off the Radar, new episodes every Tuesday.
All right, we have breaking news just into our newsroom this morning. You're taking a live look at our ODOT cameras from I-75 at Lyons Road. This is southbound on 75. That figure in the left portion of your screen is a semi on its side blocking the entire highway. 75 south, this is just north of 675, completely shut down right now. This is going to create a major headache as traffic is already backed up all the way to Dixie and Moraine. Now, if you want to make your way around this, your best bet's probably 741 or Byers Road. Head south on that, and then you could pick up 75 maybe at another exit. But let me tell you, folks, a lot of people are also going to have that idea. So prepare for delays as you head out the door, and we are going to keep a close eye on this for you. We will continue to bring you updates from the Breaking News Center all morning long. They get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone. Download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores.
Americans are expected to spend more than $25 billion on Valentine's Day gifts, but for us candy lovers, the real holiday is the day after.
As Elise Coulter explains, it's the day to save.
February 15th is really known as Discount Chocolate Day. This, of course, is when stores drastically drop prices on the remaining stock of holiday candy. So the discounts range from 15 to 50% off. So here's a few you can expect to find. One of the best kept secrets for V-Day discounts: drug stores. Think CVS and Walgreens. They typically have a larger stock of candy left over than the big chain stores, and you'll find steeper discounts there too. For example, Walgreens typically has 50 to 60% off things like candy, toys, ceramics, stuffed animals, and more. Big box stores vary wildly, of course, but typically at Walmart you'll find flowers and candy discounted at 50% off. Then Target seems to be typically around 15% off the candy and goodies. Now at Kroger, you might not only find candy and flowers at a discount, but cakes, cupcakes, chocolate-covered strawberries, all the goodies are going to be discounted as well. And don't forget, February 15th is just the first of the 4 discount chocolate days, as we like to call them. You also have the day after Easter, Halloween, and Christmas. Guys, back to you.
We want to know how you're stretching your dollar. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in a picture or video and share your money-saving tips. You may see them featured right here on Your Day.
Our time right now is 6:45. You're watching Your Day.
We continue to follow breaking news this morning. You're taking a live look at our ODOT camera at I-75 at Lyons Road. There's a semi truck on its side blocking traffic at this hour after a crash. All lanes of traffic blocked right now. We want to take a look at our quad ODOT cameras, really showing you the scope of the mess down there. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner. That's I-75 at State Route 725 at Miamisburg Centerville Road. It is backed up for miles, folks. So if you are heading south towards Cincinnati or Miamisburg, say for a job this morning, you need to find an alternate route. Best route for that would be probably 741. Give yourself some extra time because a lot of people are going to be getting off the highway trying to work around this crash this morning. We have a crew on the way so we can figure out exactly what happened at this crash and get more details for you. And of course, we will continue to bring you updates from the Breaking News Center all morning long. To get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download the Dayton 24/7 Now app in Google Play and Apple App Stores.
All right, good morning. Here's a view over Beaver Creek this morning where we are waking up to, again, temperatures in the low 30s, a few degrees, probably about 10 degrees above average. That due to some clouds that moved in earlier this morning. We'll continue to see on again, off again cloud cover through Thursday. That'll lead to a Friday where it's likely for us to wake up to some showers, potentially even into Saturday. We could still see the showers. Still working out on the details of a Monday system that will arrive somewhere in the region. That means anywhere from basically Cleveland on down to Tennessee. I have seen the models kick around the idea, but the main threat is going to be Friday for that rain. Today, upper 40s. We will be looking at temperatures in the upper 20s overnight tonight, and tomorrow it'll be in the low 50s. Worth pointing out that the next few days are significantly above average across the board, but we'll continue to see those even into early next week.
Our time right now is 6:52. You're watching Your Day. A new bill making its way through the legislature in Columbus could change how much you bring home on payday.
But the idea isn't sitting well with some local leaders. Melina Brown joins us now with details. Melina?
A group of Republican lawmakers here in Ohio introduced a bill to eliminate all state income taxes by 2030. You'd still be paying federal income tax, but the cut would mean you'd see more money in your paycheck, but it could come at a cost. State income tax provides funding for programs like Medicaid and public transportation, but the majority goes through K through 12 public education. The lawmakers who introduced the measure tell me it's influenced by other states like Texas and Florida. They've successfully gone without the state income tax. But those states have higher sales tax. Take a look at your screen now to compare. Florida's sales tax is 6%, while Texas is 6.25%. Both are higher than Ohio's at 5.75%. And some local leaders say they don't think relying on sales tax will be enough.
First of all, any cut in terms of tax revenue is negative. I really don't understand the rationale for making these adjustments right now.
Mayor Jeffrey Mims also tells me there are already issues with funding for rural and urban schools, and no plans for tax cuts would be positive. Under the proposed bills, local income taxes would still apply. Coming up in a bit, I'll have a response to concerns from one of the lawmakers pushing the bill forward.
The man accused of a deadly school bus crash in August is still in jail this morning. A judge just denied a motion to dismiss charges against Hermanio Joseph. Prosecutors charged the 35-year-old with vehicular homicide and involuntary manslaughter. Investigators say he caused a school bus crash in Clark County. The crash killed 11-year-old Aiden Clark on the first day of school. According to prosecutors, Joseph was illegally driving with a license from Mexico. His attorney argued driving without a valid license is a misdemeanor, but a judge rejected the argument. Joseph's next court date has not been set. Another false active shooter alarm set off yesterday for a district that has had this happen before. The alarm was set off accidentally at Hook Elementary in Troy.
Jenny Borg was there and tells us what she learned after talking to the superintendent.
I learned that every time one of these alarms has been set off, it has been triggered by a staff member accidentally. After September's false alarms, the district changed how the alert could be triggered, making it more difficult to set off by mistake. Superintendent Chris Piper tells me they thought they had gotten it right, but yesterday proved otherwise. He says the district will be looking for other options.
I don't see us moving forward with this particular system. We can't afford to have false alarms. The delicate balance that you're trying to strike is having a system that is easy enough to use if you need to use one, and it's very effective when it's used, but also making it difficult to trigger accidentally.
Piper says the police response was quick. The first officer arrived in about 10 seconds. He adds that both staff and police officers take these alarms very seriously and act accordingly. Back to you.
The University of Dayton is investigating a possible overdose on campus. Campus security found 4 people showing signs of an overdose. It happened at Campus South Friday night. 2 of the people involved were students. 3 of them were sent to the hospital and released. Crews treated 1 person at the scene. Right now, it's not clear what substance caused the alleged overdoses. If you have any information about the incident, call public safety right away. The number is on your screen right now.
We now know the name of the man killed in a car crash last week. Mark Pike died Friday.